All right. Hello, everyone. This is Leo here, back again after almost a year without having anything to do with my life. I was already getting desperate. I was going through this this terrible depression because there was no Intellivision Amico for me to obsess about. There was absolutely nothing for me to do with my life. I was almost gonna end it, but now finally they're back. Finally, Intellivision is coming back to try to scam somebody out of some kind of money. I don't really understand why and how. So I'm gonna watch this video. I watched some of it, and there is way more here than I thought was ever possibly gonna come out of Amico ever again. If you asked me 2 days ago whether I thought we would see a television Amico trying to come back, whether we would see these guys trying to gaslight you again, whether we would see the same freaking idiots sitting there pretending these guys didn't steal $10 million and just roll with it because we need families to be together again. I mean we can play the Nintendo Switch, and there's porn games in there, right? And now Amico games too, and we don't care anymore. I don't even understand what is going on. How is this possible? How can you, in your mind, even like put these things together and like, why? what I Let's listen to what these people are talking about. Let's hear what John Alvarado has to say and all these other guys. I mean, we have here DJC Game Studios, the devastated, just I don't know what, you know, freaking pathetic, and the absolute freaking psychopath retro advisory board who can just pretend that things make some kind of sense and just babbles about whatever, pretending that he's saying something when he's not actually saying anything, and like pretending that this fantasy stuff is real, and he's talking like all these technical things, right, about fairy tales and nothing. And then at least we have like a really cool appearance here of General Akbar from Star Wars. I love this guy. I mean, but he doesn't want to tell you that Intellivision is a trap. I mean, not Intellivision. This is not Intellivision anymore. It's Amica, but he's not going to tell you that this is a trap. I don't know why. I mean, he was good in Star Wars. He was good at assessing the situation and telling people to get out of trouble. And now here he's just trying to help these guys freaking scam you out of your money. I don't know why. I don't get these guys. I don't know what they have to gain from this, but at least I mean we can uh you know just laugh. This is the lowest hanging fruit of fucking YouTube content. I just play the video and you guys laugh. I'm basically stealing the content because I don't have to do any content. What these guys say is absolutely hilarious. But we're gonna do this, and I'll admit, actually, I'm not back because Intellivision is back. I'm back because I just got my computer back. It's just, I was living in a house that didn't have a computer with OBS and whatever. Like, I didn't have the setup. And then yesterday, I just brought, was it yesterday or the day before? Something like that. I just brought the computer in that has OBS installed. And then the same day, I look at something. I think it was on YouTube on my feed. Like, oh, Intellivision. Oh yeah, it was the No Star Gamer video. Oh, Intellivision is back. Like, kind of trying to. And Tommy is apparently back somehow. And so sometimes I don't even understand why things just work out so perfectly. Like, how can it be a coincidence that I just get my computer back into my into the house where I'm living in? And the same day, Intellivision is coming back for some more. like, I don't know, what is this? Retard bashing fun? I mean, I should feel bad about this, right? I mean, I'm basically making fun of a bunch of fucking idiots and a psychopath. But, I mean, I don't have anything better to do I? So let's take a look at this. Let's see what these guys, I mean, what we are watching here is Amico Forever, episode 92. And John Alvarado apparently told DJC to make a new episode because he said so. And so DJC says, "Amen. Yes, if you want, Amico Forever, I'll just do Amico Forever. I don't care. I don't have anything better to do." So he just does it, right? No questions asked, no nothing. I mean, questions asked actually, because they talked about, you'll see, they talked about what are the topics and what the gaslighting is going to be about and what they all are trying to achieve here. So let's listen to Mr. DJC Game Studios.
People into the office to start playing, which is going to be fun. So it'll be really, really cool.
Nice.
So hey, I got let's keep talking about just in the Discord. Briefly, I just want to ask, you did answer a question about emails that were sent out. Did you want to touch on that real quick on what was in the Discord about refund dates?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, refund dates. That thing where people are getting automated messages saying that they're gonna get a refund, like 2028, 2029, 2030. I heard someone, I don't know what, I can't verify that, right? Someone said they got a message for 2031. And so, yeah, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, like, tell us, John, why are people getting messages telling them that they're going to get their refund 2031? Explain to us.
Yeah, so before I get to that, let me just kind of frame things a little bit for people, because there were some comments here.
Yeah, it's easy. I'll frame it for you. Like, Intellivision raised on Fig Republic $10 million. Plus, they got the money from these pre-orders, and these pre-orders are 100% refundable, right? And so the money disappeared. All the money, the pre-order money, the fucking Fig money, and whatever other investor money, and it disappeared. Did the money get used to develop a console? No, because there's no console. Did the money get used to develop games? No, because the games are fucking shovelware garbage that people do in a weekend. So, I mean, what happened, right? So the money disappeared. And now people want fucking, refunds. Well, fuck them, right, John? That's the only fucking explanation for it. Is like, we took all the money, we pocketed the money, fuck you. That is the explanation for this. So, done. It's very easy, John. Just tell people the truth. Okay? You took the money, you and your friends took the money, and now you want all these people who want refunds just fuck off. And you're laughing at their faces, sending them these fucking messages telling them that they're gonna get their money in 5 years from now, when they've been waiting already 6 or 7 years, for a console that they pre-ordered already all that time ago. But they still have to wait for 5 more years or something like that, or 10. I mean, you could wait 100 fucking years. I doubt you're gonna get a fucking refund, dude.
In this chat, that people are pretty upset.
Yeah, people are upset, right? Because let's listen. Why are people upset?
Happened with the Amico and the console not coming out on time and all that.
Yeah, people are really upset that the console did not come out on time. Let's listen to that. People are upset.
Here in this chat, that people are pretty upset about what happened with the Amico and the console not coming out on time and all that. And
yeah, I mean, right? People are upset that the Intellivision Amico didn't come out on time. That's why people are upset. And people are not upset that they lied about basically everything about this product. People are not upset that, huge amounts of people from the community were attacked, gaslit, and everything by these guys and this company. People are not upset that 10 million fucking dollars, claimed 17 million fucking dollars disappeared out of thin air. It's not why people are upset. People are not upset because they were told by Tommy Telerico that the refunds were 100% refundable, no questions asked. You want your money back, give your money back. Then they asked for the money back, and they got a message telling them that they're going to get their money back 2031. That's not why people are upset. People are upset that, Intellivision did not come out on time. And it's been 5 fucking years out of time, right? This would have been reason enough for people to be upset, but that is not the reason why anyone. No, people are not upset because this thing didn't happen. People are upset because you took their money. You didn't give them shit for it. You lied about it. You're still fucking lying about it out of your teeth. Dude, credit where credit is due. This guy has fucking balls of steel. It's amazing. Like the courage to come out and say these things. Dude, this is amazing, right? And the level of, I don't know what, like, is this just stupidity? Look at DJC's face, look at General Akbar there. Like, General Akbar, who was so sharp, like, oh no, this is a trap. Let's get out of here. No, they're surrounding us. No, the shields are still working, right? None of that. It's like, oh yeah, sure. People are upset, but they shouldn't be because, we gotta play fucking tank on the Nintendo Switch now if we want to for an overpriced price or whatever. You could play cornhole or whatever on your cell fucking phone. So why be upset about all those lies and bullying and gaslighting and $17 million disappearing out of thin air. That's not upsetting. Why are people upset about that? I don't get it. I don't get what these people. How can they just ignore that? How can they sit there and just talk about Intellivision, not Intellivision, sorry, talk about Amico, without touching on the small little detail that $17 million are in this guy's pocket, right? This guy has $17 million in his shirt pocket. And of course he doesn't. You know what I mean, right? He and his friends somehow, for some reason, right? They use the money. They have nothing to show for it. There was no actual manufacturing, like a couple fucking dozen units that they made in a garage, in Nick Richards' garage, which he was getting, rent for from the company. The company was paying him rent for him to have all his junk in that fucking garage, and that's where they built those fucking systems, But that's the most they spent money on. And they gave away $1 million to a manufacturing company, but that manufacturing company never actually manufactured anything. That was probably just another smoke screen to pretend that this thing was real to get even more investors. So this, I know this will go forever if I just talk so much about every little thing. But this really is what comes to my mind when John is sitting there saying this stuff like this, right? Oh yeah, this, he's gonna explain to you, how this refund situation, it's not as bad. Some people are painting this out to be like this really bad thing, but it's not that bad. It just happens so that, at the current rates and whatever, and it's like, oh, it's not like I'm some psychopath here who got paid $120 fucking $1,000 a year to do jack shit for years, and now I'm here trying to scam more people out of more money for, just because I don't like working. Is that it, John? You don't like working? You're IT, you should be able to get a fucking job to earn your fucking money. Why don't you do that? Holy shit, dude. It's just amazing. I don't get it. I totally don't get. I don't understand what is he trying. And I will tell you guys the following. I think this is ridiculous because in my mind, like John is wasting his fucking time because nobody's fucking stupid enough after he stole $10 million to believe this guy and go with his bullshit. Like who'd give him the time of day for him to try anything? And then I look at a screen and there are three fucking idiots right next to him on this fucking video call, and they're like, oh yeah, explain to us, please. We want to understand why the fuck you took $10 million and you can't give $100 refunds back to people who gave you the fucking $100 in the first place. You got a free loan, right? For fucking 5 years, and now you can't even give the money back? But let's listen to his fucking excuse. It's fucking amazing. I mean, I wish I was, I don't know, I had the guts to do this kind of stuff. I would be so ashamed. I would never, like, if I was this, this guy, if I failed as miserably as he did, and fucking did all these awful things that this company did, I would never have the courage to show my face around on YouTube or anywhere, right? I just go into hiding. But this guy just goes out there and like explains to us why the situation is not nearly as bad as some people are painting it out to be. Let's see.
And
some dungeon entrances in Top Heroes are super sneaky. Basement entrance right there. Don't miss out the treasures inside.
that long ago, I started dealing with the support tickets because had been neglected. When we were down to a skeleton crew and one person was doing it and that person left. And so there's a huge backlog of tickets, and a lot of them are pretty negative, people just venting, and rightly so, because they've been disappointed, in their expectations, and a lot of them.
I never knew that the word disappointed was, how do you call that? Two words that have the same meaning, right? Disappointed and being scammed. Like, oh, they are disappointed. No, yeah, they were scammed. I didn't know those two words had the same meaning, but I guess you live and learn. My English is not that good.
Are really accusing us of trying to scam people and that it was never real and things like that. And you guys have heard that narrative before.
Yeah, interesting narrative, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a million times, yeah.
So I just wanted to explain that, we started this company to make this console and on this mission to bring family together, and we had every.
What? Just let's make this very clear. They did raise $10 million, right? If they ever wanted to make a console, they would have. This is the thing. This guy is just lying, out of his teeth, with no regards to any kind of fucking logic. He just doesn't care. And I understand that. I would expect a psychopath to just lie and with a straight face and not care. What I don't really understand is how can someone, I know some of these guys are not very smart, but I still find it baffling that someone can be this stupid to listen to this bullcrap and just roll with it. I don't get it. I actually don't get it. Yeah, I mean, people are saying that just scam people, right? And that they want their fucking money back. Yeah. I mean, are you surprised that that's the messages you're getting? I doubt he's surprised at all. I think he understands exactly why people are telling him that, and that he has the guts again to come around and try to gaslight people out of this, right? And it's not like that. I mean, it's just a blah, blah, blah.
Hope and expectation to succeed. Now we were biting off a huge piece because making a new console is a huge endeavor. So we knew it was a high risk, but we were, willing to try to make.
Yeah, again, No Sir Gamer was talking about this, right? He's saying now, oh, this is a very high risk endeavor, right? But if you go look at what Tommy Telerico was talking about, was saying to the investors, I mean, he was saying as if it was a sure thing, right? I mean, surely enough, that's what people do, right? I mean, when they're talking to investors and whatever, that in itself wouldn't be that bad if not for the fact that he was also lying, just straight up lying, provenly, straight up lying about a bunch of stuff. But it just No Sir Gamer was pointing that out, right? Like now he comes out and say, "Oh yeah, that was a huge fucking risk, and we failed miserably. Yeah, too bad, fucking investors. That we just pretended that we had everything figured out when we actually didn't at all." But I don't want to get caught up in this bullshit, right? Because again, they did have $10 million. All other consoles that release, like all these other startup consoles, be it the Evercade, all the analog consoles that we have out there, who also released something, you have these companies releasing these tiny consoles, right? None of them, like just, oh yeah, Atari with their VCS, none of them took $10 million up front. I don't think any of them did it. All of them did it with a couple $1 million, $1 million. Polymega had claimed $500,000 to release their fucking garbage. Sure. I mean, there are still people waiting for Polymegas even today, asking fucking Polymega for whether their console that they bought not in 2000 whatever 19 when it first released, but they bought the console on pre-order, and it was promised to be released, but they still shipped the console. They still shipped something, and the Polymega is a piece of fucking junk, but it's at least better than a fucking Intellivision Amico, right? So I mean, you had $10 million. That is enough to release like 5 fucking consoles, especially if it's some piece of shit like the Amico with just like dated technology in there. So if they ever wanted to actually release this console, they absolutely would have. The reason why they didn't was because they took the money. They paid their own salaries with the money while not finishing the console. I mean, did they finish the console just because they're fucking incompetent douchebags? Maybe. I mean, that could be. If you think that's honest, I mean, I was honestly trying to make this console while I paid myself $200,000 a year, right? But it's just like I'm completely incompetent and I have no idea how to make a console. So I did my best. I was fighting trolls online, or I was drinking beer all day, or I was taking trips to Egypt. I thought that was going to make a console come out, one day, but it didn't. So we tried our best, but we failed. And now, there's no Amico. So now we can't give your money back for your pre-order because, we spent that in the beer and the trips to Egypt and whatever the fuck else we did with the fucking money, with our salaries. But if that's the best you can do, okay, fine. So they were not dishonest; they were just fucking incompetent. But so now suddenly they're gonna be competent. Like they had $10 million fucking dollars to do this, and they didn't. So how much do they need? 50 million, 100 million, $1 billion fucking dollars to make the Intellivision Amico for the 15 old dudes who still live and had a fucking Intellivision when they were kids, and they're senile and they don't know that there are better games out there nowadays? I don't get it. I don't understand. But this is the argument, right? Like they actually tried, but couldn't make the console. Good, I mean, good something, John. Like we totally. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but it's just the fact that DJC and General Akbar, I can't see Retro Advisory Board's fucking face, but these guys are listening to this bullshit. Look at their faces listening to this bullcrap. They're totally fine with this. Like John, because he created this safe space for himself, even better than Tommy. Like John Alvarado is a way better narcissist and fucking gaslighter than Tommy ever was. Tommy couldn't create a safe space the way John Alvarado did, where he can just spew this fucking nonsense and people just listen to him and pretend that everything's fine. Like, Tommy would go to places that he say his bullshit, and someone was gonna challenge him on the fucking absurdity of the crap he was uttering, right? And John, no, John has complete free pass, no problem. He just says whatever the fuck he wants, and these guys just nod and laugh awkwardly, and they're totally fine with this.
Make it happen. And things didn't go as we planned. Things took a lot longer than we expected. And ultimately, the company ran out of money before it could manufacture the console. Our last fundraiser that we tried to do to get the money we would need to manufacture, crashed and burned. It didn't work out.
I wonder why.
There were a lot of people naysaying it and naysaying us at the time, so that affected it. But ultimately, when that closed down, that really cut us off at the knees. So we continued. That was like a 2022, I think, early, maybe March, something like that. And we continued on. We had to pretty soon lay off a lot of people right after that. And we still had enough people that we went on and created the pilot units that we sent out to a lot of people for testing, just to show these things really work. They're real. We sent it to people outside of the company. And
I mean, they really work. Are you are you sure about that? Because what we saw is that it was not ready for prime time, right? And even if it did work, it's still a piece of shit. So who fucking cares, John? Why are you talking about this? None of this matters. We just want to know where the fuck you put the money. What did you buy? Those fucking ugly, shitty curtains? Those didn't cost fucking $10 million. Where's the money, John? What am I doing here? Come on.
You received one, Chuck and Mike Molest, and several other people, to show that.
Didn't he say Mike Molest?
Received one, Chuck and Mike Molest, and several other
I think he said Mike Molest. Didn't he say Mike Molest? Let's listen to this again.
And you received one, Chuck and Mike Molest, and several other people.
Am I crazy? I think he said Mike Molest. I mean, I'm all for it, dude.
To show that it was real,
he watches Slaughter.
had it. It's something that we could manufacture if we had the money, but we didn't have the money anymore. And we were hoping that doing that would.
They couldn't. All right, they couldn't. They were not ready. I mean, he's just saying this shit because he can. Because none of these people are going to, to disagree. How to say that? My English is shit. I haven't been practicing. But people won't confront him. These idiots won't confront him. But no, you couldn't. You couldn't just manufacture that. You didn't have anything ready for manufacturing. You probably couldn't even get the parts that you needed anymore because you were so many years late. That's how it gets. Like, you have these boards, you have these components that go on the board, and then after a couple of years, after 3 years, after 4 years, you see like products change, and it's often because of that, right? And so you'd have to redo the product. You have to find new processors, find new whatever components, because the stuff that you had is not in production anymore. So there's more cost and whatever, and you need to have someone competent to do this, which obviously they didn't have. So he says that as if that Start Engine fucking campaign, succeeded, that they would totally fucking manufacture these consoles. I doubt it. I really think they wouldn't.
It allow us to kind of pull in some investment, someone that would be interested and say, okay, yeah, let's make this. But that didn't happen. So after a while, we had to basically lay off everybody, including me.
No.
So,
yeah, I know. And a lot of times you were working for free, trying to just keep it going.
Well, exactly. So at that point, we could have just packed it in and said, well, we tried, we failed, we'll declare bankruptcy, and that would have been the end. And nobody.
Yeah. Why didn't you do that?
You would have gotten any refunds back. No one would have gotten a console. No one would have ever played the games.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't you just do that? I think the only reason why they didn't do that, because if they just told everybody, hey, listen, fuck you, like, we're done, we took the money, and we're not gonna do anything. I think there would be some kind of class, lawsuit against them. some whatever, I don't know, like people would look for the authorities and try to figure out how $17 million claimed by them, just disappeared, and they have nothing to give for that money, and they, to avoid that kind of legal trouble, they just kept, this thing rolling and pretending that they were going to do something. Because I don't know why. I mean, people are not getting the Amico anyway, right? Okay, so John Alvarado, wow, such a great guy. I mean, he got $120,000 the other year, for doing nothing, for just pretending that he's like making that fucking cornhole demo that he did. I mean, and then now he's just working for free. Working what? Doing what? Porting these fucking games from Android to Android so that it works on basically what they already had, right? I mean, sure. I mean, people will do that in a couple of weeks, maybe in a couple of days. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit harder than I think it is. But like, you're trying to be this hero who's working for free, just just so that people can have their games and the people can have their consoles. When you took the money in the first place, you had the fucking $10 million and you paid yourself and didn't do shit. And now you're pretending that you're working for. How can you be working for free if you got paid $10 million? How can these people be so stupid to think that this guy is working for free after having been paid? Him, like it's on the fucking material, the legal material from the company themselves, their books, right? He got, I think, at least $300,000 from the company for working on what? For making what games? For doing what? Amico Home, like whatever, like that shitty fucking interface that they have. It's not a fucking entire operating system that he created from scratch. It's all running on Android. It's just a fucking, user interface, and it's shitty at that. So again, it's just this. It's constant gaslighting. Like, oh yeah, people are disappointed. People people are accusing us of having stolen $10 million, but that's not happened. I actually worked for free for like 3 days, and then someone bought a game, and I was paying myself again.
But a few of us, a handful of us, including me, decided that we want to try to keep this alive, and we're willing to work for free for a while to at least try out this other idea. Well, let's get these games out as software on other platforms and see if we can leverage what the work that we've done on the games to create some revenue and keep going and try to repair the company to the point where we could then start generating money and maybe attract some investment and get back to the goal of creating the console.
That's what I find interesting is that he goes back to attracting investment. These guys are so fucking obsessed with investment. Now, right now, he's trying to make money off of these shitty games, right? That's the thing they're trying to do. Let's make money from these garbage games. Well, they're not making any fucking money. These games, they sell like 100 units, 50 units. They go on Steam and they sell, I mean, a couple dozen units in the first week, and then they don't even sell 10 units the weeks that follow, and they can't keep up then later, like 10 units a month or something like they sell nothing. Nobody fucking cares about these games, right? So it's clear that no, they're not gonna save this company or start getting revenue, right? And why is he talking about more investments? You already got the investment. Again, $10 million. How about that old school idea of making revenue and reinvesting the revenue that you have from your company into the company, right? And clearly this shows the mindset of these guys. They never wanted to have a company. They never wanted to make a video game. They just wanted to attract investors. That's the ultimate goal, and that's always been the goal. Tommy Telerico was always going around selling this thing for what? For investors. Like, oh, look, this is going to be the most amazing thing ever. The Nintendo Switch doesn't exist, so we are the successor to the Nintendo Wii, and the Nintendo Wii sold so much and made so much money. So invest in us, and we're gonna make, big money is just like Nintendo and whatever. And that's still what they're doing. But what I don't get is like how? Why? Now, 2025, who's gonna give them money?
And so we were doing that, and then we eventually sold some IPs, including the Intellivision brand, which was a huge one.
The classic, yeah.
To get some money to kind of keep us alive as we're going, because you can't work for free forever. But
Again, this is a fucking asshole just admitted. Look at this. Look at what he said.
Some IPs, including the Intellivision brand, which was a huge one.
The classic, yeah.
To get some money to kind of keep us alive as we're going, because you can't work for free forever. But
so he just admitted he sold the Intellivision IP to Atari and got a bunch of fucking money, right? What did he do with the fucking money? He fucking paid himself. And all those people waiting for refunds, oh, fuck them. Fuck them, right? And then he's like, oh, people are accusing me of scamming them. Yeah, because you fucking did. You had this fucking company, you told those people that they could have their money back, even if they didn't say that those people could have their money back. They still have to give the money back, because it's not like people are pulling out of buying this console because they want to. The company promised the console for 2020. They didn't deliver. So the least they have to do is give back the money, because it's on their end that this deal didn't get through. It's not the people who pre-ordered who are at fault here. And so he still doesn't care. And he still complains and tries to gaslight these people. But he took money before, and then he took money again, and he didn't do the fucking refund. And he still wants to defend himself. He's thinking that he's defending himself, right? He's thinking that he's saying all this, and that he's totally like explaining why. And it's so fair that all those people who made the pre-orders, they can't get their fucking money back, because, I can't work for free forever. I mean, I know I'm just porting some garbage shovelware for no fucking reason, and I should just be giving back this is the thing. He's pretending like if they filed for bankruptcy, people would not see their money back. I don't think that's what would happen, because if they file for bankruptcy, then the assets from the company get split between the people who are creditors. I'm not sure the people who had a pre-order would get that money, but somebody would. Somebody who would deserve that money more than John Alvarado does, right? I mean, it's just awful.
Taking very little pay to keep going and try to keep the dream alive. And that's what we've been doing.
What dream? What dream? He's talking about the dream of getting huge investor money. And what I don't get again is that he already did. You already did get the fucking investor money, dude. You got $10 million in this company. It's more than Intellivision ever had the right to get. So what? You still need more? Like, these guys
While
are
I
never
understand
gonna
people's
stop.
frustrations, it's also frustrating for me personally.
Yeah, sure.
To receive those comments when I'm the person trying to make sure that everybody gets either their refund or their console, hopefully the latter, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it must be very frustrating for John Alvarado to get comments of people complaining, that they spent money on a console that they said and guaranteed. Tommy Telerico guaranteed so many times this console is absolutely coming out. It's absolutely coming out 2020. It's absolutely coming out 2021. DJC himself, this fucking asshole at this point, was saying that what was that? Was it official? What was it? Official production? I forgot the name he gave the fucking thing, right? And so it was over, and they were gonna make the consoles. They were ready for manufacturing, and then nothing happened. But John was in direct contact with DJC back then. He knows what they were doing.
Right. And
How can
Yeah.
he?
yeah, so
How again? He's so courageous. How can he say that it's frustrating for him? How can John Alvarado say it's frustrating for him?
but I understand, and I try, like, every time we do an announcement, we get a lot of emails of a few good comments, but a lot of negative comments, and I'm trying to answer those as best I can, and try to help people understand the situation and why I'm trying to work for them. I'm not their enemy, you know. So
Yeah.
Be the one thing.
as I mentioned, being down to a skeleton crew, I had to take over the support tickets, and there were a lot of them. There were so many, and sometimes people, when you stop answering support tickets, people send them multiple times saying, "Answer me, you know, why haven't you answered
Right.
me?" So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it
Like,
was
what the hell?
multiplied even. So I needed, in order to, I also took over handling the refunds. So in order,
I mean, how about if you didn't take years to respond to these refund requests? Then people wouldn't be so mad. Do you understand? Because you say you understand, but do you understand that concept? Because some of these pre-orders are like from 2018 and it's 2025. Like, you guys went off the map, right? Like, this company disappeared. It sold the Intellivision brand when? A couple of years ago. And so people started wanting their refunds. And then nothing, right? So how about you had given those people the refunds that they were promised that they could get at any time? Just give them the refunds and then there would be no problem. So obviously there is a problem because the people are not getting the refunds.
to try to give people an idea of when they might get the refund, I need to know how many refund requests there are, because the people that asked earlier are first in line. And
Yeah.
you know, I was answering new tickets, but I couldn't really give them an estimate of when theirs would happen because there was still a bunch I hadn't processed in the backlog. So I decided to write a program that would use AI to go through all the tickets, you know, pull them down from our customer service website, and then have the AI analyze the ticket to tell me, kind of categorize it. Is this someone asking for a refund, or is it someone asking for or is it spam? That was the other big, because we get so much
Right.
spam, and just going through the spam and trying to find the real people is a chore. Is it just spam, or is it some other kind of question actually related to Amico? And
Mhm.
classify them. And then if it is a request for refund, try to pull out information I need to find their pre-order programmatically. Like, if did they mention an order number, what's their last name, what's their email, and put it into a structure that I get back from the AI. And so once it goes through all those, then I have them all in order from oldest to newest, and I can go through all the requests for refund, try to find, now this part is programmatic, it's not AI, try to find their order in the database, and then generate an email, again, just programmatically generate an email to them saying their order is added to the queue, and add it to the queue. And then what I did was have the program also calculate, based on their position in the queue, when the best estimate of when they would get the refund based on our current rate of refunds, which is not very high because we have very little cash flow. We're being very conservative right now. So we are issuing refunds, but it's at a low rate, honestly.
Because it's
It's
based on the income.
it's what we can sustain right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's based on the income of selling, I don't know, half a dozen games a month for $10. So they get $60 a month, and then probably John pockets 50, and then $10 gets to a fucking refund, and so every year they can refund one person because it's $100 for a refund. And so I'm even impressed that they could get, you know, the refunds back as early as 2031, because I mean there must be very few people, because they make absolutely no money at Intellivision unless there's some kind of income that they have that is hidden, because the games don't fucking sell, that's for sure.
But we do expect that to improve as we generate more income. And I
But
mentioned
they're
that in the
not.
emails. But unfortunately, some people that
This
are
is
at
the
the end
thing.
of the queue,
This this is gonna get worse because their income is not gonna increase, it's gonna decrease, because these games don't fucking sell, nobody fucking cares, right? And they don't have the Intellivision name. They, what is it now, Amico Home Fun whatever bullshit with that awful fucking logo that they did. I mean, nobody cares. Nobody's gonna buy this crap. Nobody's gonna do shit. So no, if for you to get a refund, they need to make money at not Intellivision Amico home scamming fucking thing. You're never gonna get your fucking just you know just get real. You're never gonna get your fucking refund, dude. Like they're probably giving out a couple fucking refunds a month at best. And so, and eventually John is gonna get tired of this fucking bullshit. And I don't know. I am still trying to just understand why is he even doing this? Why is he wasting his fucking time talking to DJC, Akbar, and Rab? Like, why are you doing this? I just don't get it.
You
I don't get it.
got some dates that were really far out there and that were quite shocking, frankly. So that's what happened, and I explained that on the Discord because some people asked, even though we actually have rules about not asking about refunds and not asking about future business, and just look on the roadmap if you want to know about what's coming in the future. Because I like to keep the conversation focused on the current product
and it gets a
getting
little
feedback.
heated.
As novas pérolas de perfume com
I felt like that was a fair question and it really deserved an answer. So I did basically give the explanation I just gave to you. So
Yeah, I mean, he's such a great guy. I mean, even though it's forbidden to ask for about refunds on their Discord, he still answered the question of why am I getting a message saying that I'm gonna get a refund 2031? I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a great guy. Just a great guy. I mean, the fucking user is a fucking douchebag, an asshole. He's breaking the Discord rules, but John has it in his heart to still fucking respond to the guy and say, hey, listen, you're getting, your refund 2031 because you're an idiot and you bought an Intellivision Amico. You don't have a good scan for scams, so you got scammed, so fuck you. All right? And be glad that I didn't ban you from my fucking Discord because you're breaking the rules, all right? Douchebag. That's it.
All estimates of when you'll get refund are just estimates, and it's going to change because it's going to vary from month to month how much we can allocate for refunds.
Again,
but it is my goal to keep the
than what
company
you're
live
saying.
and keep it growing and improving so that we can get everyone the refund, and for the people that are willing to hang on, get them their consoles. So that's my goal. That's the goal of Phil Adam and Tommy and Jason Enos and a few of the people that we have employed still that are helping us with the engineering on Amico Home and all that. That's our goal, and we are on your side. We're not your enemy if you have a refund that's late or you're waiting for a console. So I appreciate the frustration you're going through if you're one of those people, and I appreciate the support that you've given us, and I just hope you will understand what the situation is, and hopefully give us some grace so that we can just keep going and try to build this company up to where we can achieve the goal.
That is the whole reason, people can always like yell at me or cuss me out or say nasty things in the comments, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I just like people to be a little more understand. And when I say understanding, you gotta remember, I've invested into this. I've got 2-3 consoles on order. I want the console. For me to even say give up or stop showing support, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot because I want something to come out. So I do appreciate what you're doing and keeping, like I said earlier, you're keeping the flame going, man, because you could have just packed it up and said, I got a million other things I could do. I don't need to keep this up. And the fact that you're helping to keep this going, possibly, letting people play all these games on other platforms, like you were saying, Steam, Nintendo, Apple TV, Fire TV, On TV.
Oh yeah, let's not forget what a great thing that they're doing by letting people play Cornhole, Tank, and Shark on the Nintendo. Because I mean, imagine if people could not play Astro Smash on their fucking Amico Home. That would be terrible, right? How would we live our lives without being able to play all these amazing Intellivision first-party games, right? And so, yes, it's great that these guys are going through great lengths to bring us this amazing entertainment that brings our families together.
Yeah. To be able to get people to experience the games and then get some revenue and then then eventually get people that did order founders or need refunds that going, because instead of just, like you said, filing for bankruptcy and saying forget it and nobody gets anything. That's why I still support, and people keep asking me, well, why do you keep supporting them? Why does it? Because I'm one of you guys. I'm one of the guys that put in and wants a console and wants to see something come of this. You don't want it to just bloop and go be done and fold up, and then you were like, well, that was for nothing, and so especially people that have multiple deposits or multiple investments into this, they do not want to see this fail. The normal people do not want to see their investment fail,
Exactly.
So once again, just know, and people out there, and I don't care if you don't like it or don't like the idea of it, or that wasn't the thing. It's just don't be nasty to me. The reason I'm supporting this because of all the people out there that put a deposit down. That's why I support it.
But the thing is, this is the interesting part of it. Like what John is saying, well, I took $100 from you for a console. I didn't give you the console. I told you that I would give you your money back if you wanted it. But now I'm telling you that I'm not going to give you the money back unless I make even more money. If I'm making tons of money, then I'll give you your money back. But if I'm not giving your money back. I'm your friend. I want to give your money back, right? If I'm making $1,000, I'll give you $100 for every $1,000 that I make. So I'm a great guy. I'm trying to give you that. That's literally what John Alvarado is saying. Like, if we have enough revenue in this company, right, we will give the refunds back. If we don't have the fucking revenue, then we won't. But this is the inversion of thing. They got the money in the first place. They have to give it back because they didn't give people their fucking consoles. And DGC just falls for it. And DGC, just so you understand, well, people are not angry at you or anything. They just call you a fucking idiot because you are, right? That's not even offensive or anything towards you. It's just what it is. But just in case you didn't realize, you're never gonna get your investment money back. That FIG money, it's fucking gone forever. Even if they did make money out of Intellivision, of Amico, even if they made some money out of Amico, they would never give any of it back to you. That is over. That FIG thing is over. It's never gonna pay back. Ever. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Chuck, I kind of feel the same way. From the get-go, for the the entire beginning of the project, and I came into it on a slightly different angle. I thought the idea of the console was kind of cool. I thought the idea of the hardware was really kind of like neat and refreshing. But I saw the games as things that I was like, man, I cannot wait to share all of these experiences with my family and my friends, because I think my family and friends are going to love all of these things, and they do. So, to be like even a little bit of a part of, the process of getting the games, to people, like anything I can do to make that happen, I'm ready to rock on that, because, I understand that the games are fun. They're cool to play. They're interesting. They're like, they're different in ways that, like some of these games you get,
Yeah, you would never guess that he's talking about Astro Smash, Shark, Tank, and Cornhole. Like, that's literally what he's talking about. It's just a bunch of shovelware garbage. And he's saying like, wow, this is so amazing that I'm a part of bringing this incredible game
that you don't find
to
these
the
kind of
family.
things,
My family
these kind of
needs
experiences anymore, because some of the developers are actually like kind of like redesigning these games with a vision of the things that were like in the zeitgeist in the past, right? And they're bringing them forward in a new and cool way. Like that's why I'm interested in all of these things.
Me too. I'm a guy right now that plays pixelated games. I play Atari and Intellivision.
Right.
I'm a huge TurboGrafx fan, but that's a different thing. But I'm always buying Intellivision stuff, Intellivision homebrews, the local classic community, and everybody can
I'll just skip
can
this.
literally joke.
Okay, found a place where John keeps going because I don't want to go what these other guys say. I want to focus on what John's saying.
And one thing I want to mention as
Why
well
not?
is that I want to mention that we have not put any marketing money into promoting these games yet, and what we are doing now with putting them on Steam and on Switch.
Again, everybody already mentioned this, but just reminding you guys that these games cannot be played on this Nintendo Switch. They cannot be played on Steam. Switch is full of porn games. You don't want to give your kid a Nintendo Switch, right? Because it's gonna ruin your kid's life, and you can't even find games on Steam, which is true because nobody's finding these games on Steam. It's not selling anything. But again, suddenly it's completely 100% possible to put all these games on Steam and Switch.
We have reserved a marketing fund to start when they're out on those platforms, and that market.
They have reserved a marketing fund? You have what?
What we are doing now with putting them on Steam and on Switch, we have reserved a marketing fund to start when they're out on those platforms, and that marketing will include for Amico Home. So
wow, like this guy came on this video, on this Amico Forever, to, explain to people why they don't get their refunds. And he is admitting not only to getting a salary from this company, but also to having money set aside for marketing this shovelware shit. They have money for marketing, but they can't process the fucking refunds? Unbelievable. Again, and he's fine with saying this. He doesn't even care. He's just like telling it to your face. I have your money here, but we're gonna spend it on marketing. We're not gonna fucking give it back to you.
I'm really hopeful that
Amazing.
that will get the word out to a lot of people who will enjoy these games, and they're going to be available on all these platforms, and that it will really take off. And that's the hope. And from there, if it does take off in a strong way, then we're on our path, on our phase plan to get to manufacturing controllers and consoles.
Spoiler alert, it's not going to take off. You're not gonna have success with this shovelware shit. Nobody fucking cares, and these games are not gonna sell because they're garbage. And I'm not saying that because I'm bigoted. I'm saying that because the games are fucking shit. We've all seen the games. Oh my god, dude.
Front Pro. Proteja o seu cão todos os meses contra pulgas.
It's fucking commercials.
Oh, speaking of Rab, do you have your mic off for a reason? I didn't want to turn it on, and you're trying to be private, but I know we've been talking for a bit.
Hi, Rab.
Yeah. What's up?
Let me try to unmute him. Oh, there he is.
Oh, I'm in. Hi.
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up, man?
you've been in for the whole for like the last 20 minutes. I was like, but maybe he's got the kids or
It says
something.
no, it said on my screen that I'm waiting. Sorry.
No, you've been on the whole time.
It's been forever since we've done this.
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Hi, room. ASL. I don't remember what to do.
Yeah, yes, L8 location. I remember that. AOL
Nice.
chat rooms.
How are you guys? It's good to be on.
Yeah, it's good to
I think
have
being
you, man.
muted
It's like a
might be
reunion.
better for half the room, though. So careful what you wish for.
Rab is a little faint. Are you guys hearing him well? He's a little faint, his audio.
You might want to turn up a little bit, Rab, if you can.
Yeah. How is this? Better?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. It's a little low, but I can still hear you.
Come on, dude. Just
You're good.
So
Anyway,
how
I
you been,
apologize.
Rab?
Good. Yeah. I don't.
Do you have any burning questions for us, Rab?
No, not really. John, I heard that you guys have a marketing budget put aside for this. So do you have a target? Your target audience in mind is going to be a lot smaller with your mobile games than it would have been with a physical product on the shelf.
this concept is amazing. It's like, oh yeah, John, you're releasing these games on the Nintendo Switch and on Steam. So now that you have, a user base of hundreds of thousands, I'm crazy, hundreds of millions of users out there, right? I mean, it's much smaller of a target audience than before when you had like 5 dozens of old crazy senile people who used to have an Intellivision back in the 70s. So how are we going to adapt to this much smaller user base? That's what I was talking about, Rab, right? That he talks about this and he talks like really seriously and he's making these questions as if it's like this really like strategic question, like, oh, how are you going to go about your strategy for the uh, uh, the advertising for this company now that you switch the focus from this group and that group and whatever, right? And what are you talking about? Like, as if Intellivision Amico really was going to sell, I don't know, 1 billion units, like everybody in the world was going to have an Intellivision in their homes and the war in the Middle East was going to end. And, you know, uh, it's just, what are you even talking about? It's just insane. And Rab has always been like that. It's very interesting.
You guys kind of readjusted how you're looking to, communicate with that new audience. I mean,
Well, I'm not involved intimately in that part of what we're doing. We have engaged a marketing company that's helping us, and Tommy is primarily spearheading that with the marketing company.
So Tommy Telerico now is how I'm gonna interpret this. I think Tommy is probably trying to bullshit some whatever advertisement company, like maybe into working for free for them. I can even picture Tommy talking to them and going like, oh hey, listen, like in television, or not in television, sorry, that the Amico thing is gonna be huge, right? Like this is gonna be the biggest thing in the world. Like we're gonna destroy Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, everyone, and like there's only gonna be Amico in the video game space, right? Like Nvidia is gonna go bankrupt because we're gonna make AI and everything is gonna be Amico AI and it's gonna be a good AI because it's your friend and it's gonna end the old war in the Middle East. And so if you guys work for free right now for us, right, and help us succeed, then later when we're the biggest company in the world, then you are gonna be the ones who are going to make our advertisements and everything. And so you're going to be billionaires, trillionaires, right? You're going to literally buy Mars uh, and populate Mars and everything because we're going to be the biggest thing. Doesn't it sound like Tommy? Like that's why all these guys, all these idiots were working for Tommy all this time for free, or even worse, paying Tommy so that they can work for Tommy, right? And I can only think that if Tommy is talking to some whatever company, right, that's what he's doing. Because why would he spend his money trying to advertise this fucking shovelware? To who?
We do want to have something that's more direct, targeted advertising. He's mentioned that, like targeting the groups or the areas that are our target audience, basically, families, young families.
Everybody has a family, dude. Like you can't not have a family. Like you have parents. You can't not have, like, how many people were made just by just creating a synthetic human cell? I don't think anybody ever was done like that. So everybody has a fucking family. Like you don't have a target fucking audience. What he's trying to say is that, well, they're trying to focus on fucking retards, right? Because that's what they do. They focus on idiots and fucking dumbasses who give their money for no fucking reason. Like, oh, how about we go for hyper religious people who are crazy and think that if you give a Nintendo Switch to your kid, that your kid's gonna become Satan or whatever the fuck, right? Let's target those fucking morons. All there are people who, I don't know, like they have no fucking common sense. Let's target them because maybe they will believe that our games are not as shit because they never played the game. But if we have some kind of leverage to convince them that they should buy our fucking game over something else, then we'll do it. Because I mean, what fucking target audience? How is family a fucking target audience, dude?
That's kind of all I know about it. I might, maybe if I come on again, I might have more info later. But
Sure.
that's set to start next month, so you'll be able to see it in the wild for what it is. If you have ideas, I would love to hear them. If you want to communicate with us offline about that, I really respect your knowledge and perspective on these things. So
Again, if you want to work for free for us, giving us idea on how to do marketing for a shitty company, I mean, totally do that because you're an idiot.
would love to hear any suggestions you have for sure. I've had some people recommend like reaching out to like family focused groups, whether some religious and some otherwise, and some people mentioned they have connections. So there's some grassroots stuff we'll be trying to do, just kind of direct reaching out to people and organizations that we think would be interested in this product.
Again, is this a marketing term, family, as in couples or whatever? Because it doesn't have to be a couple who has small children, and so the children and the parents. But that was not what Amico was about.
But
That
that's separate
align
from
well.
like the
I guess that's kind of
yeah.
talking with
It was one of the things that Amico was about, but it was about everybody, right?
what Code's asking right here. Any attempts of getting acquired with someone like a Sony or a Nintendo to either acquire or build.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a potential kind of a ultimate exit strategy, right? You either go public or you get acquired by somebody
Yeah.
if your company is doing well, and ultimately that could happen.
And this is the funny thing, right? Because John Alvarado is this amazing guy. He's such a cool guy, such a great guy. He really believes in Intellivision. He really believes in Amico. He really believes in these games and bringing families together and everything. And then when people say like, "Oh, how about you sell this company?" He's like, "Oh yeah, if anybody wants to pay me money, like fuck all this shit. I just want the money." Does this make any sense? Like, it is so funny that this guy is so transparent. He doesn't try to hide anything that he's doing, right? He doesn't try to hide. He admits. If you ask him, if you press him for it, he will immediately admit, "Oh yeah, this company is up for sale. If anyone is stupid enough to give us the money for it, we're just gonna give it away because we don't give a shit." Even though the entire point of him being there in this Amico Forever fucking show is to pretend that he does care. Is to pretend that he wants to give you the fucking refund, right? But conditioned to the fact that first he needs to get more money. From what? Well, from whatever fucking grassroots, whatever fucking garbage. They're kind of like telling these people, listen, we're gonna give you the refund, but for that you have to buy our games, because then we're gonna have money to give you the money back. But if people have to buy the games to give you the money so that you can give them the money back, then they're not getting a refund. They're just giving themselves the refund. But these people are stupid, so stupid that they don't see that. They don't understand. Like there is no winning. When it comes to Intellivision, you'll never win because these guys don't give you anything ever. Intellivision is not in the business of giving; they're in the business of taking. Right? I don't know why John Alvarado. I don't understand this very well because to me it's crazy that the idea, the concept that on Steam and that on the Switch these games are somehow gonna sell for someone. Like, why would you buy any of this crap on the Nintendo Switch? because the Nintendo Switch has good games, has good couch co-op games, it has good cheap games, it has good expensive games, it has all kinds of games. And so why would you buy the shitty Intellivision ones? Like, what sense does that make? I don't get it again at all. At all. What games are they even releasing? Like Shark, Astro Smash, something like that? And on the Switch, I mean, they can't really manipulate the reviews or anything. Like it's out in the wild, and people are gonna call it what it is. So again, I can't even keep going. I watched 20 minutes of this video, right? And maybe I'm gonna make a new one because there is a lot. Because this guy just keeps going. He just keeps gaslighting, playing the victim, and trying to somehow convince people that what they did isn't terrible, that what he's doing right now isn't terrible. These guys are pretending. Like, Mike, no, sorry. We'll have to do.
I see this
we'll
company
have to
something
go.
that more that would get acquired versus going public, but
Go
we'll see.
public.
We've got to take first
Like-
steps first and get to a healthy position of profitability. Then get the hardware out, and at that
Like, what? He's still talking about getting fucking Intellivision Amico console out there, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Yeah, sure, of course. I mean, if you want to go public or get acquired by someone, you have to be a company in the first place.
If you don't know where to start in Top Hero,
I just want to show you how Mike Mullis comes in the show, but John Alvarado is talking about Tommy Telerico and how amazing he is because he won some whatever junior backgammon championship, and now he's back with his wife and whatever, and Tommy's doing great. And it's the same fucking bullshit. I mean, who cares that the guy just lied about everything all the time, right? I mean, that doesn't matter that he was gaslighting and attacking people in this community for calling him out on his bullshit, right? He slandered people in the community and all the kind. Like, no, he's a great guy and he really loves Intellivision and he's back with his wife and he won the junior backgammon championship because he's so dedicated, and when he puts himself into something, he really gets the results, except when it's in television that he couldn't get shit done for this fucking company, right? And right after John Alvarado spews all this fucking bullshit about freaking Tommy, Mike Molest comes in. Like John Alvarado himself called the guy that. I don't know why. Oh my god.
and commitment when he commits to something, and his commitment to the company was so huge. He's a workaholic.
Yeah, he's a workaholic. Like
He may
he
be
spent.
vindictive or something, but she's not that kind of person at all.
He's fucking Tommy Telerico spent all day, talking to people online and not working at all, and just getting fights on forums and whatever, on Reddit and on YouTube comments, and giving those huge. Did John forget? The guy was every day doing 3 hour long interviews for the Intellivision, which didn't amount to anything because the channels didn't have any views.
He's taking care of his marriage and his
And of course his
Stuff that
father
we used
passed
to,
and everything.
Video games live shows, which is always fun. And
I mean, life fucking happens.
and his health
Nope.
was bad too. He went through a bad health.
dust off and get back up.
Yeah.
Talking, telling the story.
I was just
Yeah.
hanging. It's been way too long, gentlemen.
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too, John. We were talking about. Unfortunately, I was listening in the background while I was trying to finish up in a work emergency that just had my attention. Unfortunately, IT is 24/7 sometimes. So
Sure is.
yeah, it was. But knock on wood, everything's okay with client, and so I
Cool.
noticed you guys weren't too far into this, so I wanted to.
Yeah, glad you could
jump
join
in.
us.
Yeah, well,
sure. I mentioned
It's
earlier, I was talking about the testers that have been helping us. And, prior to that, on the pilot units, you guys, especially Mike and his kids, were so good at finding issues and then making recommendations about gameplay, which got into some of the games.
yeah.
So I wanted to just acknowledge you again
I'll
for
tell
that.
you, Spencer was the biggest one. Honest to good thing score. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
was-
Down to the
that was
bottom.
all right. Well, I got to fix
That was a bug, yeah.
I mean, those are and it's funny because I still use that.
I was
This
talking about
getting
testing.
ready to come home from his second year of college to play with us. I mean, that's lore of
Liberdade sim, Avenida não.
this. So if you grant me a second, because I've had some pent up, I've had some pent up stuff, and I'm not. Hello to everybody. This is a rare YouTube sighting for me. I don't use YouTube anymore. I basically left because of this, not because of you guys, of course, but because some of those people who are probably watching, like you, Chuck, they hate me because I am holding on to supporting Amico and what Amico is about as a father of more than anything. I mean, I love playing this stuff, but as a dad, and so go after me and it's I have friends that are like, come on, it can't be that bad, and I'm like, dude, put my name in a YouTube search and you'll see some of the most vile stuff that has been over a video game console, and they've gone after my kids, which is what really drove me off of the platform was went after my kids for the crime of really having fun playing cornhole and really having fun playing Shark and really having fun the 3 or 4 of us playing Astro Smash.
And let's put this into perspective. It's 2025. So if you had a kid that was in the target audience for Intellivision in 2020 when it was supposed to release back then, right? Now the kid is out of the target audience again. Because if the kid was 5 and needed those baby games, now the kid is 10 and can play a real game like Mario or whatever, right? Sure, probably somebody, I'm sure people attacked Mike Mullis's kids because, it's YouTube, right? I don't put my daughter out on YouTube because it's YouTube. And if he wants to go out of the fucking platform, fine. But I'm not sure people hate these guys. People hate Mike Mullis for liking Amico and helping a scam that stole basically $10 million, right? Let's not forget the fact that they did raise $10 million. And now John Alvarado is there admitting that he has money set aside for doing advertisements for these games, and they still don't want to give out the refunds, right? And John is still pretending that they're going to release this hardware, which they are not going to. Again, yes, people are going to criticize that insanity, right? But Mike specifically, actually, before he was getting attacked, he attacked a bunch of people. He even attacked, called I don't know, the name is strange. The guy from Ars Technica that wrote John Maskovich or something like that. Like he attacked that guy. He attacked everybody who wrote anything bad about Intellivision, even though those bad things, like John Maskovich article on the Intellivision, was as accurate as an article ever gets about anything. Like he said the thing like the company was broke, that everything was shit, and that the Intellivision was going under, and there was no hope for this thing. And they, like DJC and Mike Mullis and Rab and whatever Saggy Tits girl and all of those people, I think Retro Bro also back then, they were all saying, oh, no way, like this guy is way out of line and the Intellivision is totally coming out. We talked to Tommy and Tommy said everything is fine. and then figures out who was right about it. Yeah, John Maskovich, who's Maskovich. Well, I don't know the name of the guy. I don't care about the name of the guy. The article from Ars Technica was spot on. But now you come back and you say, oh, all these people, well, you were the one attacking the people who were right. You were wrong, and now you're playing the victim and gaslighting the people who actually are the victims of your behavior. That is the amazing thing, right? I mean, these people lied to get money. You guys helped with the lies for them to get the money. And people are upset with you. And you want to play the victim about it. And again, I'm not for harassment and stuff like that. But, the language can get heated, especially if we're doing some humorous stuff, right? But some people's ego is just extraordinary, and they can't take any kind of criticism without feeling actually personally strongly attacked. Which I'm sorry, I just don't buy into that kind of crap. You know, these guys don't get to play the victim because they're not the victims here. Let him speak a little bit more, and then I'll leave.
And so, I've kind of been in, kind of background mode, just kind of watching. And to be honest, I'm team console. You guys all know that. I'm not telling anybody they don't know. I have a Samsung phone, so I can't use Amico Home effectively right now. And I'm waiting, for the hardware controllers to be compatible. And then, Home would be a great way to travel with the Amico without having to put my console in the bag and haul it around. But
because I mean, you couldn't possibly fucking, take a trip and take a Nintendo Switch with you on a trip with an extra pair of Joy-Cons and then play Nintendo Switch with your family, something like, I don't know, Super Mario 3D World or Overcooked or whatever other, because I'm sure I haven't been paying too much attention. I mean, I'm sure there are bunches and bunches of fucking games, and also the Nintendo Switch has that amazing feature that Intellivision pretends it has, but actually everything has, which is you got a bunch of people in the same room, each person with their own screen playing the same game, right? The Switch can do that perfectly because being a portable system, it has its own screen. You don't need to have 4 TVs or 4 entire PC setups, which you could do nowadays better than you ever could before, because nowadays you can get a bunch of fucking, it's expensive, but it doesn't cost $10 million, and you get it when you buy it, because Intellivision, like, it's supposed to be affordable, but it costs $10 million and you don't even get a console. So you can buy an ROG Ally or whatever of these fucking PCs, go on Steam, and everybody go together to play whatever game. Everybody in the fucking same room. You can do that. You just don't do that. People don't do that. Some people don't do that because they don't want to. But if they wanted to do that, they could, right? They could, and it's not a problem. And these consoles or whatever, they're good. They work, right? You can buy some whatever Android handheld if you don't like playing on a cell phone with the cell phone screen, whatever touch thing. But I'm just saying, it's 2025 and we're still talking as if you need an Intellivision Amico to play, or you need Amico Home to play some games in the same room in a hotel room. Really? You need Amico Home for that? You can't everybody get their own cell phones? Doesn't everybody do that? Because I definitely did that with my daughter. Like, you get your cell phone and you log into Roblox and you play whatever fucking game because you don't care. Because sometimes we want to play shovelware, right? We don't care. We're just together. We want to chill, play something that's just funny and shallow and whatever. And so you log into whatever bullshit game and you play whatever and you don't care. But you're together, you're laughing, you're spending time together. You don't need Amico Home for that. But you do if you're Mike Mullis for whatever fucking reason. I don't care. I can't get past the the fact that Intellivision claimed to have raised $17 million, and they didn't release a console with that amount of money. And now they expect support from the community. Now they expect people to have understanding for the fact that, they're going through some difficult times because, they paid their own salaries with the money and never had anything to show for it. And now, they have no salaries anymore because they ran the company into the ground, sold all the IPs that were worth anything, and they need your help. They need your help to make more money. They don't even know how. Because what is the strategy? It's like going around begging whatever family fucking religious people to buy their shitty games on Steam so that they have money to make how is that a strategy? What are we even talking about? I don't even understand what these people are saying. What strategy? What console? How are you going to release the Amico in 2025? And there is more bullshit that comes out of these people's mouths next. I mean, John Alvarado is still going to go. And who was it? Rab or someone? Or Mike Mullis starts talking utter fucking nonsense. It's just incredible. Guys, just let this be your lesson from the Intellivision Amico, okay? Never lose perspective in life, okay? Always take a step back and take a look and ask yourself, is this really worth, am I missing the big picture here, right? Because you're so focused on Intellivision and on knowing a celebrity who's Tommy Telerico, who's a cousin, in 20th degree of Steve Tyler from Aerosmith, who doesn't even know who Tommy is, but Tommy likes pretending that they know each other, right? Just because you got to know this guy and he bullshitted you for 3 hours on a YouTube video, is it really worth it? Going through all this just to play some shitty games. Look at the fucking logos on the screen right now. Look at this, the Plankton fucking ripoff, and then this Flash looking garbage right there, right? I mean, is it really worth it supporting this company? Being run off of YouTube because people are attacking you for defending a scam, but you need to keep defending it. There's no way. I love you, Tommy. I'm gonna go to the grave with you. I'm gonna go to heaven or hell. Whatever you go, I'm gonna go with you and I'm following you, even if you're running away from me. I'm still gonna, just do it out of our friendship, even though we would never talked again. And you just stole $10 million and you're not giving people refunds. And I don't care. I don't care because our friendship is bigger than fucking refunds for the people in the community that I'm a part of. I don't, just don't lose perspective, right? And this applies to so many things, right? This applies and we hear these stories money is supposed to fix your life, right? But then when you start getting money and money and money, and you start focusing on the money and you lose perspective of why did you even want money in the first place? What was the purpose of that money? And you just start chasing the money itself and forget about the context in which that was all put, then you end up in these crazy places. I don't even know, why, what is John Alvarado, why is he that, he got a lot of fucking money from this. Is it against his religion to do honest work for his money? Is he that incompetent? He can't get a fucking job? Why are you doing this, John? and it's not gonna work. Nobody's gonna give you guys money anymore. The word is out there. Everybody knows, right? Like, you lied about the Amico back then. You lied of the state of development of the console. You lied about the people who were on board with this. You lied about the stage of development of the games. You lied and lied and lied. You got your money. You paid yourself with the money. Everybody knows you did that. It's in your paper. Like, you published the legal documents that showed what you did with the money. You published it yourself because you were trying to get more money from Start Engine, and you had to. So we know what you did with the money. Who's going to give a company even more money when they know that you're going to take the money and pay yourself? Like, people, it's just amazing. But I know there are people out there that are like that, right? Like, someone, I don't know, like, someone asks you for money because they need whatever, right, to pay their bills. And so you give them the money and they go and they spend it all on drugs. And then they come back and say, oh, I need money. And you're like, what happened? Oh, I paid some bills, but I have more. And it's like, no, you didn't pay bills. You just got drugs. And yeah, but this time I'm not going to give, buy drugs. I'm going to pay my bills for real. And it's like, really? And I'm not again, I'm not saying you can't help drug addicts or whatever. You can, but don't just give them your money, and just hope that they're gonna pay the bills, because they're not. You just go and pay the bills yourself, because there's no way that's gonna happen. Like, people are so naive. Even I am naive, but I'm not that naive. I mean, one day you have to fucking learn. Don't you have to fucking learn one day? But what gets to me is not even that. It's just the gaslighting. It's just the fact that these guys, all these 5 guys, they're sitting there and they have no qualms with ignoring the fact that there is how long is the video? Like 3-hour long video just dedicated to the Tommy Telerico lies that are both involved with the Amico and not. And those are just a fraction. After that, a bunch of more stuff came out. Now, again, we were saying from the beginning all these things. First, that the console was late, and they said the console was not late. Then we said the games were not ready. They said the games were ready, and we said the company was failing. They said the company was not failing. And look at where we are now. Everything that we said was correct. Everything that they said was wrong. But they're the victims. Like, how dare people call them out for defending? Like, why would you not understand that they just like this console, right? It's just that. What is wrong with liking a console? Just because they stole, the people from the company stole $17 million. I mean, yeah, it's, and then, oh, we're being attacked by the community. You're not being attacked by the community. You're not being attacked. It's just that people have common sense. And you're sitting there talking to this guy who got paid $250,000 one year and I think 120 the other. For what? And you're still there talking to him, trying to get him to get more money out of who for what. So you have to, you have to expect people to say something about it. You can't possibly expect people to just go with it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter. It did matter for someone. A lot of people lost money. A lot of people have the 100, and it's not, I'm pretty sure most people who are asking for their $100 back, they don't care about the 100 fucking bucks, but they just hate themselves that John has the 100 fucking bucks, right? And Intellivision lied to these people. Tommy lied to these people, and John is lying to these people right now. And that's what gets them angry. That's why they want to have their money back, because of all the people that you could have given their money, you know, they gave it exactly to John Alvarado and Tommy Telerico and Nick Richards, and they hate that. They wish they didn't give they thought better about it. But back in the day, you know, back in 2019, 2018, it was not that easy to see things were going, you know, were not what they seemed. 2020, things were getting kind of strange. 2021 was when I think was when I realized like this is not right. I think it was towards the end of the year. I was like, well, there's something going on, right? But then I was attacked for it again, right? You're just going past the fact that you guys were the ones shutting off everyone who was critical for legit reasons. The console did not release. You get it? We were telling you. We were telling not you. We were confronting Intellivision because there was something wrong going on. There was all that fucking money and nothing to show for it, and we were questioning the other stuff also, like the lag, but specifically the technical side of things was not matching up, and the lies. Like we were calling out the fucking lies. Again, like these people are not working at this company. You're not ready. These games are garbage. You're not gonna sell this on what Bed Bath and Beyond and all that shit. Again, this entire fucking Amico Forever thing is just pure gaslighting. The entire time, the entire episode through is these people pretending that nothing that happened the past 7 years ever happened. It's literally what these guys are doing. Like, oh, nothing ever happened. There are no $17 million that disappeared. You know, nobody lied. We didn't, you know, ban. They banned people, dude. They destroyed Atari Age. They banned everybody from their comment sessions. They tried to shut people off. And now they want to play the victims. It's just unbelievable. Okay. So I'm gonna leave the video with this. Probably not nearly as entertaining unless you're like really hardcore into this and it's gone through this 5 years of hell that I've gone through with this thing together with me. But nah, this is like I don't buy a drop of it. Like and that's the thing that I failed back in the day. I tried to have a conversation. I tried to find some middle ground. There is no middle ground to this. It's absolutely insane. Like they just go straight off, you know, with utter nonsense, and there is no middle ground to be found. Because again, the only thing that these guys can possibly do is give the investors the money back, admit that they lied, give back the fucking refundable deposits, say they're sorry for having tried to scam people, and never come back and never show their faces around the gaming community ever again. That's the only thing that they could do to, you know, recover a slight bit of dignity, you know, and show that they are actual, you know, decent human beings and not just garbage, just fucking psychopaths, right? Because if you steal millions of dollars from people that you know need the money, right, and steal from people that you were that were your supporters, the gaming community, like these Intellivision people and everything, you're stealing from them. So if you want to be a decent, that's the least you have to do. But I doubt these guys even have the money. They squandered a lot of it. I know they didn't pocket $17 million. Like each one of them probably didn't even pocket $1 million. And you know, if they were better at it, they would have. Because the process of filtering down the money and, you know, funneling it into your pocket has a lot of fucking losses to it. And you know, you have to pay this and pay that, and you only get to keep a certain amount of it. You don't keep it all. It's not like just taking it and running, because then the police is gonna go after you. But if you spend and you pretend that you're doing it and you're spending it in your own salaries and renting your own garage to do the shit and paying your friends and whatever, and we don't even know whatever else happened. But again, I'll finish at this now, and just saying, right? I don't buy any of this fucking conversation, any of this fucking crap. I don't buy any of these guys playing the victim right there. Even though, I mean, some are nastier than others, right? I mean, DJC just seems like an idiot. General Akbar, I don't even know what he is. I mean, he seems to be almost human. I don't know, man. And I'm not being nice, but I mean, why are they there? I don't get it. And Rab is completely crazy, but I didn't see him attacking people too much. But Mike Mullins, I did see him attacking people, right? He was all for banning and silencing all the people who, who were trying to shed some light into the truth of this thing. And so he's the one who deserves the least to play this fucking role of a victim here. And he's the one who does it the most. Not surprising at all. So, yeah, crazy times. I never thought these guys would be back, but they are. So, also am I. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one. I have other stuff that I could talk about. I probably will, but I just thought this one was more time sensitive, and it's possible, but not guaranteed, that I'm actually going to be back and talking about the things that I have been talking before. It's just that I'm not sure what's going to happen, right? Because the thing is that life exists, and I'm always doing stuff, and I'm not sure how much of my time I'm gonna dedicate to this. But yeah, this couple of hours was fine. I'll see you guys around maybe. Bye.